Welcome back to The Last of Us Part 2. Well, there's a lot more story to come, but first...
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah. If you didn't want me to make sex jokes, then this game shouldn't have had a rough sex scene in it.
Whatever, I approve.
Tony, I just got this to ask. You're all about censoring hentai or, hell, ecchi games that don't even really have straight porn, but have porn references. But when Naughty Dog does it, no, by all means, show that sex scene in there no matter how ugly it looks.
Well, my guess is Jova, again, I'm purely guessing here. Keep in mind, I'm purely guessing here, and I don't even care either way. Maybe it's because the sex scene only showed the boobs for like a second, as in like there's no, like it doesn't even give time for it to. I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I'm trying my best.
I'm gonna paraphrase I'm just gonna say this: a boob shot is a boob shot.
I don't even. I don't fucking know.
Honestly, I'm just gonna chalk it up to Sony having some weird double standards.
Oh, hold on, Joe. I have to point this out. Hey, Shiroi, did you hear what they say? I guess not.
Or rather, did you see
No, I did not actually.
Did you see what they said?
The scars are talking about a specific child, and they say that child is an abomination. So they're starting it. God damn it, Neil, you're so disgusting.
Oh, does Abby have something special about her?
No, sure. They're talking about Lev, remember?
Oh.
You're so disgusting, Neil. But anyway, yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those cases where, okay, that dream was meant to convey that now she's feeling a bit guilty over leaving them there. But again, why? This is the contrivance of contrivance. Of all the contrived shit in this game, this is the one that gets to me the most particularly. I'm not saying this is the worst, but it's the one that personally bothers me the most because it feels so forced and out of nowhere that now all of a sudden Abby is now putting herself in harm's way to help these two complete strangers that she has no idea who they are. She knows all she knows about them is their names. And it's literally just an excuse to force feed the story that the game wants.
Let me put it like this: the way Abby's going about this is like the Good Samaritan format of stuff. Help people in need. Except that's not how Abby's really been attributed character-wise. Abby, up until this point, has been shown to be, well, like I said, borderline psychopathic and more selfish, more than anything. Oh, sure, yeah, she cares for her friends and Owen, but really, that's only because she's gotten to know them well enough. She's acted on more pragmatic case.
Exactly.
Like Joel did in the first game.
Hell, if this was OG Ellie, as in Ellie from the first game, not the Ellie from this game, if it was OG Ellie doing this, then I would actually be willing to buy it, because it would make sense with her character, but no. Not with Abby. Sorry.
Here's the problem with Abby. We've established her character up to this point. Nothing has hinted that she's this selfless as to help two people she barely knows. And you know, it's funny, even the story realizes it's not really in her character to the point where...
Yeah, Owen and Mel...
out of nowhere after sex.
To give you an idea, Shiroi, even Owen and Mel themselves are gonna point out that it doesn't make any sense for her to be helping these cars out. Like, just because you point your problem, Neil, it doesn't mean it's not. That doesn't change the fact that it's a problem.
Well, Owen pointed out Abby's, hypocrisies in the previous part.
Oh, but don't you see, Shiroi, she shut him up with sex.
Yeah. Well, Shiroi, that's the thing, Shiroi. It doesn't matter how many problems. Like if a woman if a woman sleeps with a guy, the guy will okay, fine. In that case, you can do what you want. That's just how we are.
He's whipped. I tell you.
Yes.
that is.
Oh my god! I just realized something, but I'll tell you after this.
Okay, sure. Oh.
It's me.
Yes, it's me. You know, that person you met for like 30 minutes.
Who's me?
Hey, Lev.
Where's Yara?
How's she doing?
Yeah, thank you for answering.
Oh boy.
Useless dipshit. Let's just check for ourselves how she is. Oh, that can't be good. My guess is Abby is regretting leaving them here, and she should have tried to carry her back to Mel for better treatment. But again, it doesn't really make any sense for Abby to just go out of her way to help these two scars. You know, she's been fighting these people for 4 years now.
And again, let's talk about the contrived storytelling. Abby would have never come across these two if she wasn't in the first place going to just go talk to Owen about this one little thing here. Don't get me wrong, I get it. Sometimes certain things...
Owen, I swear to God, if you make me do any more environmental puzzles before I get to you...
Oh no, he's calling. He's calling.
There you go.
I need whatever medical supplies you have. Put the phone down, it's okay. Alice, shut up!
See, Shiroi, that's why Alice needed to get killed. Alice is Alice is a bigot, it seems.
No, she's just a trained guard dog.
I know, I'm just joking.
I know you are, but...
Well, that's the thing, Shiroi. Remember, like, this game is so fucked up with its morals that would you be surprised if that was the idea?
Hey Mel, when the heck did you get here?
Abort, retry, fail.
I mean, Abby literally had to cross king and country through infected to get here, and I guess Mel just got here on her own somehow. Again, mind you,
she's just because she's pregnant, Joe, but that doesn't mean she can't be awesome, you know.
Keep in mind, this is all day 2, and this is after Abby had sex with Owen. So that would have mean that if Owen somehow
the bone's shattered.
Pick up Mel. Oh yeah.
Oh.
She has compartment syndrome.
Ooh, that's not good. It means it needs to come off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mel.
She's a soldier. You can't take her arm.
I saw enough at her house to know what this is.
Just make it stop hurting. Please. What do you need? Ideally, a saw, sutures, clamps, antibiotics. We're far from ideal right now.
We have knives, fire, cauterize it.
She would die from infection.
Yeah.
Make me a list. I'll go to the hospital. I'll get whatever you need. All day to get there. I don't mind. It's not about you, Abby. She doesn't have a couple of days. What if I can get her in 2 hours?
So it's already infected anyway. Like, not the kind of infection...
But it's okay, Shira, because Lev can get us there in 2 hours somehow.
So what, Lev can drive us there, eh?
Yes.
How we get around the flooding and...
Surprised there's enough fuel going around.
Can't you handle 2 hours?
You know, Mel and Owen are really good people to immediately be willing to help scars. Just saying.
Wait, are you serious?
They saved their precious Abby, though.
You heard that's
True.
Yes.
That is true, yeah. However, Shiroi, as we're gonna learn later, Lev doesn't like dogs, though. So even Lev has his flaws.
Maybe there's a reason he doesn't like dogs. I don't know.
That actually is, to be fair, and he's gonna get over it.
I'm guessing it's to do with the flashback. One of the flashbacks.
No. It's because remember the WWF used dogs to hunt scars. Remember?
What?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you go.
Sorry.
It just doesn't hear.
Talk.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know.
I mean, I guess you could argue that, you know, they did save her life.
I don't care about last night. Then what was the point of that scene then?
Maybe somebody really needed to get their jollies off, so they animated a sex scene. God.
This is literally a
I
soap
mean, at
opera.
least the
Shiroi,
mocap artist apparently had a laugh riot.
Shiroi,
filming that.
I'm gonna take a cue from you, from Final Fantasy 14. This is literally a soap opera right now.
Like,
Yeah, but I don't think Coronation Street would show a sex scene.
True,
Like,
but writing wise, this is basically a soap opera at this point.
And also, Coronation Street only lasts half an hour each episode, where it's like, this is like...
I mean, there are special hour-long episodes.
I know, but this is like a full... How many hours stretch is this?
Yes, Jova, go ahead.
I love how the game pretty much goes out of its way to say, yeah, that sex scene really didn't mean a damn thing in the basis of stuff. Like,
No.
yes, I know it's 10 seconds, but it was such a detailed and horrible sex scene that I'm sorry. I cannot forgive the fact that you made us go for that sex scene
Exactly.
for nothing.
Exactly.
I mean, it wasn't a
It's
really
literally
long
like...
sex scene. I mean, it wasn't really a long sex scene either.
I know, but it's still a waste of our time, and it came across as awkward. And it was really awkward and took us out of the game. So, yeah, it was short, but even short scenes can be harmful. But anyway, it's exactly like... Go ahead.
I think a good way to put it is that sex scene felt like something out of a horror movie where, it's something, without the tongue-in-cheek horror movie.
Well,
vibe.
apparently, it was meant to simulate what sex
Well,
is actually like, as opposed to how Hollywood movies.
Well,
do it.
Jova, this is a survival horror game. So,
What would you guys say? What would you guys say to that?
It still looked stupid.
Yeah. But anyway, but yeah, it's exact. Hold on.
You'll have to try to do the surgery with what Owen has around. It's not...
Yeah, it wouldn't be good. So let's try and hurry.
Do you think she'll make it? You give the supplies. Yeah, she'll have a good shot.
I don't know why, but it's hard for me to care. Oh wait, that's right. I barely know you two.
Hell, even that applies double for Lev, because we literally don't even know anything about Lev. Like Neo just crowbarred him into the story, and now boom, there's your new partner. But This is
Lev. He's a character.
This is again a problem with the storytelling here. We don't get nearly enough time to get to bond with certain characters before suddenly getting shunted off to another partner character here and there.
It's like it's just like Sailor Moon Crystal. Booyah! Go ahead.
It's like, again, with Last of Us, while we did sometimes have different AI partners.
Exactly. Go ahead.
So, again, in the original Last of Us, while we did have segments where Ellie and Joel were separate and had AI partners here, at the very least, there was still the overarching story that allowed Ellie and Joel to have a lot of that nice development with one another. The problem with Abby and her friends is like, well, sooner or later, a lot of her friends are going to be dead.
Yeah.
For as much as the game is trying to ship her with Owen, she and Owen have not really had good on-screen chemistry or that much.
No.
Mel apparently outright hates Abby.
Nobody in this game.
There's Manny, but we all know Manny's gonna be dead anyway.
None of the characters have any real chemistry. Not even Dina and Ellie.
And that's the thing, Abby is supposed to have this great relationship with her friends and all, but the game does such a terrible job at, showing it. To the point where it doesn't feel like Abby really loses anything when Ellie kills her friend, because we're not shown that she has a good relationship with her friends. And like I said before, apparently some of her friends outright hate her.
Yeah. Lev just told us that the Scars are also hunting both him and Yara. So yeah, they're definitely out of the Scars by this point. The sex scene between Owen and Abby is basically exactly like the scene in Spider-Man 3 where Harry kisses Mary Jane. It never comes up again. Abby and Owen are never going to talk about this. Neither Mel. What's this doing in the game?
Well, Pedro, what about the scene where they do the twist?
The what?
Where they do that little dance in Spider-Man 3.
Oh, well, that's exactly it, Dwebs. That entire scene where they spin around and dance, and then they end with a kiss, then Mary Jane gets out of there distraught. Peter and Mary Jane never talk about it. It never comes up again. What's this scene doing in the movie? So it's the same thing here. If the characters are never actually going to, acknowledge this ever again, then what's the point of this?
I think okay. I'm gonna say here it's actually worse here because that sex scene is meant to be something of a culmination between Abby and Oe, and something that the game is kind of
look, a PS3
building to, only to get ignored.
Nobody has PS3. No, did you notice that? Oh, but that one is a Slim though. That one is a PS3 Slim, whereas the other ones we've seen are fat PS3s.
I thought, is that an Xbox there?
No, I think it's a DVD player.
Wouldn't that have been funny? But yeah, imagine per se if God, what's it? Imagine if per se the romance between Tony Stark and Pepper Potts was building up. Then Tony finally pops the question to her. They have sex, and then they never get married, and their relationship is never brought up again. That's kind of what this game did with Abby and Owen. They have all this build up to that eventual sex scene, yet in the long run, the sex scene really doesn't affect anything on the plot.
Nope.
All that build up for a romance that wasn't even going to work.
Yeah.
That is bad writing.
By the way, Shiro, you know what I realized?
Mm-hmm.
Owen is literally the anti-Ryan. As in Ryan from Beyond Two Souls, whereas Ryan, in order for Jodie to have sex with Ryan, she has to get the perfect dress, cook the perfect meal, all the right mood, clean up the room. Because, as I've said in our playthrough, because as we all know, guys typically need to be perfectly wooed in the mood to be in the mood for sex. However, Owen is the exact opposite. Owen,
he just needs to be shoved violently against a wall, and that's enough for him.
Exactly. To the girl next door, we're Sam and James. We live in 302.
We're Sam and James.
Go ahead then.
Don't know anyone else who was still there. We're not scary, we swear. Living behind a freshly baked treat, Sam. Thanks to the cornbread, my mom told me to give you this bottle of vodka. Hope it's good, kind. Why didn't you guys get on the bus with everyone else? My name's Julia. My mom's name is Heidi. Julia. Where do you find this vodka? This is legit. We're stuck around because we heard some horror stories about the temp apartments. People left the police and letting them rob and kill each other. We'd rather take our chances here. Let us know if your mom need anything. Thanks. I'm gonna look for more cornbread mix while I'm out. That was a game she treated you guys to offer to help with my mom. I could really use the hand. Gonna go out scavenging, but back tonight. Just knock, Julia. Okay, so I guess that vodka can help out with making a Molotov cocktail.
True. Yeah. So I can see that. Yeah.
I'm guessing that's the reason for that letter.
Scar saw James. Yeah, go ahead.
Scar saw James cooking on the roof. They shot him. I killed two, but one got away. I'm leaving our door unlocked and some supplies in our safe. Combo was our apartment number, then your apartment number. Take everything and get out of here. Sam. I can't leave my mom behind. Gonna barricade our door and hope for the best. Your stuff is still in the safe. My aim, shit. They get in, they're gonna put our hands up. Julia, let me guess. We find her and her mom. Let me guess. We find her and her mother's corpse in the room behind.
No, but yeah, this is the safe that we're supposed to open. So it's the apartment number that we're in right now plus the apartment next door. That's the combination.
Oh, so I guess and her mother got away then. If we don't find their corpses,
we don't know.
That or the scars were very tidy with the cleanup job.
Apparently. So yeah, that's basically it. It's amazing how many parallels I can draw between this and Beyond Two Souls.
I know, right? Seriously, even Beyond Two... Well, I hate to say it, Beyond Two Souls sex scene actually had more of an impact on the plot. I mean, don't get me wrong. It still didn't change the fact that Ryan was going to betray Jodie during that Africa chapter, but at the very least, it felt like something you had to earn at least.
Honestly, the most I remember from that game is the bloody democratically elected president.
That's the thing, Jova. The only consequence of doing this, of doing the date chapter perfectly, is that in the chapter right after that, when during the mission briefing, both her and Ryan kiss, and that's it. That's literally the impact of getting that chapter right. So it's not that much better, if you ask me.
Really
The scene I remember the clearest, since I think I saw it the most out of any scene, was the party scene.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
I love how the "this is vodka" and it's legit part of the letter is on all caps. But yeah, I'm just double checking the names so I can then compare it to that with the whiteboard. So let's see. At first I was just thinking maybe no. But then I remembered, you dipshit, it's an apartment. So there you go. Okay, so let's see. So the number of this one is 304. And the other one is 302. Okay, so it's 304, 302.
You know, I might as well make a comparison here. Now, I know I've talked about plot convenience. I should clarify something. There's a difference between plot convenience and gameplay convenience. For example, this is gameplay convenience. You know, the fact that there just happens to be a note that helps us find the certain step we need. Gameplay convenience is more understandable for a game to be possible to beat. Now there's definitely still an art to, you know, making it mesh well with the plot, but you know, there's only so much you can do, you know, for a game to still be a game. Whereas plot convenience is where it's strictly the plot where you have no control in it whatsoever, and it did not have to be that way for gameplay convenience, but the writers just chose to do it because they couldn't think of much a better route. It's not always bad, but as I said before regarding this game, it is pretty blatant.
Yeah.
What convenience makes you sick, apparently, as we just heard when Joba mentioned it and he coughed.
Alright, let's continue. Basically, we have to get to the hospital, and apparently Lev knows a special, unique scar way that allows us to basically get there in 2 hours. So,
You know, that's another thing. You know, I hate to say it, but in some ways you could argue that while Ellie's plot had more padding, hers felt like we were progressing more, whereas Abby's feels even more stagnating.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Joe, but to be honest, not that this command isn't that padding, but at the very least, there's more narrative momentum here.
Okay. Let me talk about it, though. Abby's goals are more stagnant than Ellie's goals. Ellie actually feels like she's proceeding with things, whereas Abby's feels arguably even more stagnated in the fact that, the main reason she went out and the reason was just so she could talk to Owen and have a terrible sex scene. And then it's just plot convenience plopped upon plot convenience with the whole, now she decides she wants to go back for the scars, who she wants to help from other scars and all that. And now, we're stuck here because now we're helping out this one person who we barely even know. Like, maybe it feels more plot stagnant. I think if only because it feels like there's less reason for us to be doing it. Like, you know, Ellie, you get the motivation, and you get where she goes with stuff. And stuff wasn't nearly as plot convenient for her. Whereas Abby, the story has been in her favor so much that it really feels more stagnating when all of a sudden the story decides not to throw her a bone for whatever reason.
It doesn't help that, like I've said, Yara and Lev have been basically crowbarred into this game. Like, seriously, they come out of nowhere, and now they're suddenly important, that we need to go all this out of our way to save them.
I guess a better way to put it is like, well, Ellie's plot feels more like, hey, at the very least, this stuff makes sense with the overall narrative here, whereas Abby's is like, okay, let's have this happen no matter how little sense it makes.
Yeah.
Because we want things this way.
Good.
And god damn whatever we have to do to get it.
During any of the various reboots / timelines that the Tomb Raider series has there ever been a reoccurring enemy, or at the very least any kind of faction that she fights over the course of like 2-3 games? something like that.
There are reoccurring characters in each of the series. Like there's one in the original continuity that comes in the 4th game, named Werner von Croy, where he's basically Lara's mentor slash old guy, and he's like that in 4. Well, since Chronicles is an anthology game told through them telling stories about Lara.
Oh shit!
He's in that a bit.
Fuck it, let's run.
And in Angel of Darkness.
So basically, there's no reoccurring enemy faction. Okay, that's all I need to know.
Well, okay, I say because I don't want to spoil it. Well, mind you, the game tells you before.
Sure.
The race should outright tells you what happens to him before the game even shows what happens to him. So because that's storytelling genius.
Mm-hmm. It's this it's this thing where, like, imagine if I'm trying to think of like some kind of enemy faction in a storyline.
Spectre.
Sure, let's go Spectre. Imagine if for some reason Bond found a defecting member of Spectre who was all wounded, and he took the time out of his mission and whatever he's doing just to go out of his way to completely help this one random Spectre defector. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's to show that Abby is such a well-meaning character.
That's exactly
even if
the problem.
It clashes with all earlier showings of her character.
That's exactly the problem. To quote Aaron Hehas, the creator of Dragon Prince and lead writer of Avatar: The Last Airbender, don't make your characters likable. Make them complex. Just making her all Puritan and benefactory and like that's not gonna make us likable. Make her a compelling character.
What's even worse is if you try to bend the plot to make us like the character, that arguably makes it even worse. Because essentially then you have a creator's pet. And creators' pets aren't often viewed favorably in a lot of people's eyes.
That's how I described Abby at the end of Ellie's campaign, really.
When you force the child to eat their veggies, that only makes it that the child eats the veggies more.
Case in point, Jurassic Park 3, where they tried to foist the Spinosaurus onto us over the T-Rex. It was a dumb idea back then, and it's still a dumb idea now.
It's like it does, like if you force things on people, they're only going to become an animist. There's only going to be an animosity towards it. Yeah, there you go.
Again, why not do something like Transformers War for Cybertron and give us different campaigns to play from different sides? Or, if you really wanted to have these campaigns the way they are, pull a Fall of Cybertron and at the very end have us pick which one we play as. In the final fight.
By the way, Shiro, you asked me a few parts ago how long was the first game's playthrough. The first game playthrough, and remember, I included the DLC in.
Yes,
it was a total of 30 parts. So by this point in the first game, we would have been done.
So this game does go along for a few hours more than it should.
Yeah,
right,
10 more hours specifically.
Believe it or not, Shiroy, even though we should be, we're not near to the end yet.
No, we're not.
I know, and the thing is, like there was lots of walking in the first game, but the scenes were more frequent. And here, I'm honestly just, I get what Pedro is saying about Abby's, campaign being a bit more narratively focused, but I'm still just so bored.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this game is trying to beat. I think this game's trying to beat Lord of the Rings in terms of.
Yes.
I think honestly, if I had to play this for myself, I would have dropped it. If not even for the bad story, if just for the fact that it takes ages to get to any of it, I just would have clocked out.
Yeah, that's the thing, Dwibs. This is Peter Jackson if he paced a video game.
I would give Peter Jackson something of the benefit of the doubt and assume he wouldn't pace it this badly because, as was said before, the whole Hobbit thing wasn't all his call here and there. And
3 hours of walking.
and you know what? At least I'll give him credit. At least he stuffed those Lord of the Rings films with stuff for the characters to do for the most part. This game, yes, I know, killing infected and enemies and whatnot.
Sure.
But it feels like the plot is just spinning its wheels in this game a lot.
Sure.
And I got a bad news for you, Shiroyan Dweebs. It ain't gonna get any better.
That King Kong movie, though. My God.
Oh, yeah.
I did see that one in the cinemas, and thinking back at it, holy shit.
That
I was wondering what you were on about. I'm like, Pedro, I know Kong Skull Island's characters were that interesting.
No. I'll take Kong.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, isn't Kong Skull Island like 90 minutes or something?
But barely 2 hours, I think.
Well, there you go. King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong is 3 hours.
Remind me, how long did it take to get to the actual fucking point?
To the island? To the island?
Yeah.
It took like 40 minutes to get to the fucking island. I'm not even kidding.
I mean, and Kong Skull Island's not even 2 hours.
Because this movie is quite old by this point, so yeah, I saw it a very long time ago, and it's like thinking back at it.
Just watch the just watch the original 1930s classic. That one is only 90 minutes.
Sure.
Exactly what a story like this should be like.
Okay. I would also recommend the 1980s King Kong.
Sure. Anyway, everybody, tune in next time for Last of Us Part 2 with guest director Peter Jackson.
Electric Boogaloo.
See ya.
See you then.